So there's this issue. What is the difference between a will and a trust? Doesn't the will do the same thing as a trust does? And it really doesn't. We say that a will is a ticket to probate. What it does is it tells the probate court how you want things to be dealt with in probate. A trust takes things away from having to go through probate. So they're very different in that regard. You do need to have a will, even if you do have a trust, because you want to make sure that if there does have to be probate, that it's going to be done as easily as possible without bonds, without formality, and to do it as easily as possible. And sometimes there might be an asset that you thought had been transferred and hadn't, or you hadn't thought about it at all when you were making your transfers into a trust. Or it could be that there is something that came into the estate, such as a settlement with the car insurance company or the trucking company or the airline or whoever it is that may have caused the death and would bring in a wrongful death claim or some sort of civil payment that comes into the estate. It would come into the estate. Then there would be that one asset. And typically what we do is we have a pour over will when we have a trust, which means that we're pouring things over into the trust, that the trust is the beneficiary of the will. And so that makes it a very simple probate. And so we want to try and simplify things as much as possible. You have one beneficiary, you have one asset, typically, then that has to be dealt with. There's not a lot of formality that has to be taken through that. But the idea of a will is it's just giving instructions on probate, how you want to deal with things. A trust is another entity to hold things beyond your death, to handle things as probate would have, but you've given the instructions to the trust so that probate doesn't have to be involved to make those transfers.